Good evening. Tonight I invite you to join me with my Zohar study. Okay, it's Parshas VaYechi, and I'm learning from the Matok Midvash Zohar, which is, as today, my favorite commentary on Zohar. And we're talking about the 17 years that that Yosef and Yaakov, Joseph and Jacob were separated from each other, and the tremendous happiness that Jacob felt when he was reunited with his son Joseph. So the Zohar comments, Shiva Esrei Shana Shol Mai Taima, 17 years. There was Jacob lived 17 years in Egypt. So that's what the Torah says. What was the reason for these 17 years? Mahatam shetor mefaresha sheYaakov chai b'Mitzrayim shva esrei shana. What's the reason that the Torah tells us that Yaakov lived in Egypt for 17 years? V'lo pachos lo not more or less. Umitaretz, and the Zohar answers, Ela Omar Rabbi Shimon. Rabbi Shimon said, Kol Yamoi the Yaakov b'tzara hava. All the days Yaakov was in tremendous pain. B'tzara avar loin b'kadmitza. Because in pain and suffering, he went through all of his days from the beginning until the time he himself descended into Egypt. Begin the Chamle Yosef have a kaim kamei. Once he descended into Egypt and he saw Joseph standing before him, Kad Yaakov mistakel b'Yosef, when Yaakov gazed at Yosef, have a ishtalim benafshe, then his soul was complete. Kilu chama le'ime di Yosef. It was as if he saw Yosef's mother, Rachel. The Shapiro di Yosef, Dame le Shapiro de Rachel, because the beauty of Yosef shone like the beauty of his mother, Rachel. Very interesting. He had that resemblance. And remember, Rachel was Yaakov's favorite wife. So when he saw Yosef, he saw his favorite wife. So the continence of his favorite wife, the spiritual continence, the physical continence. Ki yofyov shel Yosef ha'vedam li yofya shel Rachel, because the beauty of Yosef was like the beauty of his mother Rachel. V'havedame bigarme kema delo aver alei tzara miyomo. And then it appeared to him like he was a person who never experienced suffering his entire life. He was so restored in that moment. He felt like he never suffered at all. V'chazar lidvarav de la'el. And now the Zohar is going to return to what it mentioned before. V'omar v'chad Yosef is parish minei. When Yosef was separated and lost from Yaakov, Kedei niskayim, then it was fulfilled the verse that says, Lo shalvosi v'lo shakadti v'lo nachti v'yovoy roigez. Remember when Yaakov met Lavan, for the last time, and Lavan caught up with him. So Yaakov uttered these words that he never, he hasn't rested, he hasn't felt at peace, and at every moment he was shaken with anger. It was a tough life for him. Dida kushyale liYaakov mikol mada avar. But however, no matter what he went through with Esav, with Lavan, this losing Yosef for that period of time where he didn't know whether Yosef was alive, he assumed actually he wasn't, was harsher for him than what he went through, with Lavan, with Esav beforehand. Maksiv, and what is it written? Yosef ben Sheva Esrei Shana Hayaroya Chulu. Yosef, when he was 17 years old, and he was shepherding the sheep. V'chol yoimin di Yaakov lo havelei tzadik ahai. All the days that Yaakov had, there was no pain like this, like the loss of Yosef. V'ava b'chi b'kol yoima le'inun shiva esrei shana Yosef. And he'd cry each and every day for those 17 years. He would cry for Yosef. Each day in those 17 years. Not a day passed in those 17 years where he wouldn't cry for Yosef. Maika sivulei. What did they answer him from heaven? Right before he came back down to Egypt, he had a dream, and God said to him in a vision, "You're going to go down to Egypt. Yosef Yoshis Yodo, and Yosef will place his hands over your eyes. And he's going to be there when you pass on. He's going to place his hand over your eyes." Meaning, Hey Lecha Sheva Esrei Shana Acharinen B'tanugim Tafnukin V'hanois V'kisufim. Here, God was saying to Yaakov, here are another 17 years that are going to be filled now with delights, with pleasures, with delights, with pleasantness, and with things that you enjoy. It's going to be in exchange for those 17 years that you pained over Yosef, that while he was separated from you, that when the 17-year-old was separated from you, you suffered so. This is going to be in its place. 17 years of true pleasure. It's the 17 best years of your life. That's what it's written. VaYechi Yaakov be'eretz Mitzrayim sheva esrei shana. And that's what it means. Literally, Jacob lived 17 years in Egypt. Yaakov lived 17 years. He lived better than he ever did in his whole life, till that point. He was 130 years old when he went down. He lived, now for those last 17 years, he really lived. Tana, we learn, Kol ina shenin de shechinta, yikara de kutshebrichu imishtachcha. We learned that all those 17 years, the Shekhinah, which is the divine presence, the honor of the Holy One, was with him. A prophecy was restored to him. We'll begin Ka'chayinikroin. And guess what? Where the Shekhinah is, life is. Right? The Shekhinah is the divine presence. It is the live cable of life. So where the Shekhinah is, that life is. Tochazei, come and see. Ksiv, vatachi ruach Yaakov avihem, and the spirit of Yaakov, their father, was restored, came alive again. Omar, ischazei dahabi kadmisa mis. It appears that at first his spirit had died. And he wasn't he never intended to receive another spirit. That is a soul, a higher level of soul, and the resting of the Shekhinah. Ratzalom k'moshe aguf chayusa hu hanefesh, kein ruach adam chayusa haneshama, Shekhinah hashera ala neshama. Just as the life of the body comes from the nefesh level of the soul. The nefesh is the biological soul. It's a soul that keeps the biological functions of the body going. That level of soul. So too, the ruach, the spirit level of the soul, requires the neshama and the shekhinah above the neshama to vitalize it. So the neshama becomes like a soul to the spirit, and the shekhinah above it, also partakes in that role. Because the spirit above can't rest on something that's empty. For the Supreme Spirit, which is the resting of the Shekhinah, the Divine Presence, doesn't rest on something empty. That is a person who is not manifesting his neshama level. Now that he heard the news that Yosef is still alive, Zohar el haneshama, he attained the manifesting his neshama. He manifested his neshama level. Umiyad v'atachi ruach Yaakov, and suddenly the spirit of Yaakov revitalized, became alive again. Omar Rabbi Yosi, hatam shelo sharsa shechin al Yaakov arata. Yosi, the reason the Shekhinah did not rest on Yaakov till now, ki shechinta lo sharya ela ba'asa shlim. The Shekhinah only rests on a place that's whole. As wholesomeness. And when a person has his entire soul set, he's manifesting all the main levels of his soul, his nefesh, ruach, and neshama, then he is called complete in all of his midos, in all of his levels. So at that point, when he's manifesting his nefesh, his ruach, and neshama, then he's complete to the point that the Shekhinah rests on him. V'lo ba'aser choser, and of course the Shekhinah does not rest on a place that's lacking in the manifestation of one's full soul level. V'lo ba'aser pagim, and certainly the Shekhinah does not rest in a place where a person has blemished with his sins. V'lo ba'aser atziv, and the Shekhinah does not rest in a place of depression. A person's too depressed. Ela ba'aser dischavin ba'aser chadu, but only in a place, the Shekhinah only rests in a place that's prepared for it. When a person has the happiness of doing mitzvahs, when a person is living with mitzvahs and has the happiness of doing mitzvahs, that's where the Shekhinah rests. Ubegin kach kol inun shenin de Yosef es parish me'avui v'Yakov hoya atziv lo shar be'shechinta. And therefore, the entire time that Yosef was separated from Yaakov, and Yaakov was in pain, the Shekhinah did not rest there. And now the Zohar is going to talk about the greatness of serving God with happiness. Omar Tana and Tana Omar Rabbi Elazar Omar Rabbi Abba, Ksiv ivdu es Hashem b'simcha bo lefanav birnana. Rabbi Elazar said in the name of Rav Abba, it says in Psalm 100, serve God with celebration, come before Him with glad song. It brings out that serving God with completion is only through happiness. Omar Rabbi Elazar les shechinta sharia migoy atzvus. Elazar said the Shekhinah does not rest in a place of depression. The Chsiv, it says by Elisha the prophet, when he was upset and he was in nervous tension because of political circumstances of his time that were affecting him, he said, "Va'atu kichuli minagi." Now bring for me the musician. V'haya kinagina minagin, and it was when the musician played the music that Sharsa Allah Ruach HaNevuah, that the spirit of prophecy rested upon him. So basically, you needed the musician to restore his spirit and bring him back to a state of happiness, so that he could have the Shekhinah rest on him. And this is a tremendous thing. It's even, I remember reading from the fifth Lubavitcher Rebbe that even higher than the mitzvah is the happiness that comes with the mitzvah. The mitzvah it's like a ladder. The mitzvah reaches way up there, but then the happiness of the mitzvah reaches even higher. And with that, we conclude today's section of Zohar.